pelvis. Noticing if your tendency breath is a forward only, or is it naturally, and has it been repatterned to do a three-dimensional breath, front, back, side to side? This type of breath helps repattern the body in so many ways. Now, with each inhalation, see if you can increase the expansion and the duration, maybe increase like 1 second. Filling up the pelvis, the stomach area, and the chest all the way up to the top, where the armpits intersect with the ribs. Slowly expanding. Now we're going to inhale deeply. And at the very top of your inhale, we're going to hold the breath. And let's all do that together. So let's all exhale. And then inhale. And hold. Fill up the rib cage with the breath. Push into the ribs with the breath that you're holding. And then exhale. And inhale. Without holding, exhale. Okay, on this next one, we'll inhale and hold. Inhale. And hold. And exhale. And inhale without the hold. Next one, we'll inhale with the hold. Hold. And exhale. Nice work, everyone. Now we're going to do a hold on the out breath. So let's first inhale, exhale, hold, exhale, and hold. So let's do it. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And hold. And inhale. And exhale. We'll do 3 of those. Inhale, exhale, and hold. And exhale. And hold. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale and hold. And inhale. Very good. And just go into your natural breath. Let's begin by lengthening our legs, windmilling our arms to the 45 up. We'll start with our a mobilization from our pillar 2 clavicle class. We're going to start by lifting up our right arm up into the sky reach arm, palm facing off to the left. Scoop the chin, lift the head. The right scapula is off the ground, the head is lifted up. Pause here. Then we're going to slowly press or reach up towards the sky. The right heel begins to press into the ground, and we reach the right arm across the body until the right arm connects with the left hand for our prayer hands. Now internally rotate the left leg. Breathing deeply into the back of the ribs. Good. Now slide the right arm. And then glide the 90-degree arm even further forward until your left side of your face is resting in your left bicep. And then your body is facing towards the ground even more. The right leg is resting on the inner arch, the right foot inner arch. Until your nose and your face touches the ground. And begin to slide all the way back. All the way back. Coming back up to your prayer hands. Deeply breathing into the back of the rib cage. Then lifting up the right arm back up towards the sky. The head and the right arm is still lifted. And then we slowly lower the head and the right scapula and the right arm back up towards the 45 up line. Now let's lift the left arm to the sky reach. Scoop the chin, lift the head, reach up, 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 up. The left scapula lifts up. You can feel your left glute maximus activation. Then begin to reach over towards the right hand, and the left heel rests into the ground. Deeply breathe into the back of the ribs. The head is lifted away from the right arm. Internally rotate the right leg. Feel the additional activation in the right adductor. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Then slide the left arm to the 90-degree and begin to slide the left hand forward in that 90-degree arm, just a slow glide until the right cheek connects into the right bicep, and then the head rolls off to the bicep until it touches the ground. The head touches the ground, the inner left leg's on the ground, and then we slowly roll back to the sideline until the left foot is pointing up towards the sky, and the left arm goes back to the 45 up prayer hand position, breathing deeply into the back of the rib cage. Then the left arm slowly lifts up, all the way back up to the sky reach. The head is lifted, left scapula lifted. Then we lower the left scapula and the head at the same time. The left arm lowers back down to the ground. Then we slowly float the arms up to our prayer hands. And then we lower the prayer hands above our head until the thumb touches the ground, keeping the index finger lifted up off of the ground. Then we allow the shoulders to hike up. And then we descend the shoulders away from the ears. The scapula slide down towards the pelvis. Then we slowly float the arms back up overhead. Then we slowly bring the prayer hands to the 45 up left. The head will lift up at some point when you're at the 45 arm. Once it gets all the way down to the ground, you're going to pause, breathe into the back. Breathing into the back of the ribs. In the 45 up arm, feel the stretch along the right side. Now slide the right foot into the meta restore position. And then lift the right foot up for the 1-inch hover. Holding. Keep the left back of the hand on the ground, the prayer hands connected. The right foot is hovering 1 inch, feeling the abdominal activation. Then we slowly lower the right foot back down, slide it out into the long lever leg, reach that right leg nice along to get a deeper stretch along the right sideline. Breathing into the back of the ribs. And then slowly bringing the prayer hands all the way back up towards the sky. Lowering down above our head. Reaching to the descending the scapula back down, floating the prayer hands all the way up. Now lower the prayer hands to the 45 up to the right, lifting the head up. The left heel supports the movement all the way up. Good. The head is not resting on the right arm. It's elevated and active. Breathing into the back. Sliding the left foot, so we're in the meta restore position on the left side. Then we lift the left foot 1 inch. Feel how that right hip ground expands to support and counterbalance to support the left leg lift. Keep the right hand and prayer hands connected. And they'll lower the left foot, lengthen the left leg all the way back out, lengthening the body, breathing into the back of the rib cage. Slowly lifting all the way back up, lowering the head all the way down, lowering the arms to the 45 up. Nice work. Lifting the right arm up to the sky reach, scooping the chin, lifting the head, the right arm lifts up. Lower the right hand towards the left hand. Notice if it's easier on this time. Reaching up, breathing into the back of the ribs. Breathing into the back of the ribs. Good. Now slowly lifting the right arm all the way back up to the sky reach. Lower the head, lower the right scapula, lower the right arm. Left arm comes up for the sky reach. Lift the left scapula up, the head lifts. Look, reach across left arm to the right arm in the right hand. Letting the left leg lengthen, breathing into the back of the ribs. Breathing into the back of the ribs. Letting go the tension, muscle melting. Slowly lifting the left arm all the way back up. Everyone's doing such a great job. Lower the head, lower the left scapula, lower the left arm back to the 45 up, lift the arms back up to prayer hands. Clasp the hands. Palms facing towards the head. Then we slowly rotate the hands to point up towards the sky with the hand clasp. Then we stretch the fingers, the wrists, and the forearm. The thumbs are loose and pointing towards the feet. Internally rotate the legs, stretching the forearms, the hands, and the fingers. Scoop the head, chin, lift the head. Now reach these hands to the 45 up left until the left wrist touches the ground. The eye gaze looking up at the hands and the fingers, feeling the stretch, looking at your fingertips, noticing how they're turning white. Slowly coming back all the way back over onto your back. Head lowers back down, rotate so the palms face down towards you, then get back into your prayer hands. Then slowly lower the prayer hands overhead till the thumb touches the ground. Then we hike more, and then slowly we hike the shoulders back down. Prayer hands come back up over the chest, clasp the hands, palms facing you, and then slowly rotate to face up towards the sky. And then slowly lift to the 45 up line until the wrist touches the ground on the right side. And notice how you're using a lot more of your left heel to support this movement. Stretching through the fingertips helps with the clavicle expansion. Slowly lifting the arms all the way back up, and the head lowers back down. Rotate the palms to face towards you, prayer hands together. Slowly floating the arms to the overhead. Hiking the shoulders. Bending the shoulders. Lifting the arms all the way back up, slowly floating to the 90-degree arm. Slowly lift the left leg up to our sky reach. Left leg up to our sky reach. Now bring the left leg over to the left, to the 45-degree line to the left. Then all the way down. Bring that left leg all the way down to the ground. Then slowly slide the left leg all the way back down to the line of the hip. It's like doing a windmill action along the ground. Now lift the left leg back up to the sky reach. Slowly descend off to the left again. We're going to do this a total of 4 times. Try to root that right pelvis as you bring the left leg all the way down. And slide, windmill the left leg all the way back to the line of the hip. Along the ground. Lift the left leg up towards the sky for sky reach. Lower off to the left, all the way to the ground. Then sliding along the ground, all the way back to the line of the hip. One more time, left leg lifts. And lowers off to the left. Then sliding the left leg all the way down, back to the line of the leg. Now lift the left leg to the sky reach. Instead of going to the outside, we're going to do our crossover. Do the crossover. There we go, until the left foot touches the ground. Then the left leg is going to windmill down, crossing over the right leg back over into the line of the hip. And let the pelvis just roll over. 4 times over here. Lift the left leg up to the sky reach. Do our crossover leg until the left leg touches the ground. Slowly glide the left leg in the windmill fashion, reaching the left leg away from the body. The left leg is going to cross over the right leg and the pelvis is going to return. You might have to do a little meta wiggle to balance out the pelvis at the very end. Now lift the left leg up. Sky reach, crossover, crossing over. Then the left leg windmills all the way down, crossing over the right leg. And then do the pelvis shuffle to balance it out. And again, the left leg lifts up. Notice how it might be getting easier. Now bring the left leg across the body until it touches the ground. And the left foot slides along the ground all the way until the left foot crosses over and the pelvis balances out with the pelvis shuffle. Now the right leg lifts up, a little bit tighter over here, right? Now the right leg goes to the outside, to the right, lowering all the way down to the ground. A little bit challenging over here for me. And then we windmill all the way back to the line of the hip, all the way back. There's a lot of sticky parts, but we're just allowing the stretch and the lengthened tendons to move through them, not pausing. Right leg up to the sky reach, slowly floating the right leg over to the right. Rooting the left pelvis so it's not too much of a tip in the pelvis. And then we windmill the right leg all the way to the line of the hip. Then the right leg comes up, sky reach. Notice how the sky reach lift is getting easier. The right leg goes to the right. And the right foot glides along the ground to the line of the hip. And again, lift on up. And the right leg goes all the way to the right for the last time. And then we slowly glide the right leg back to the line of the hip. Now we'll do our 4 crossovers, lifting the right leg up for the sky reach, going across the body this time till the right foot touches the ground. And then we gently glide the right leg along the windmill's arcing pattern. And then we slowly lower the pelvis towards the ground, and the right leg goes over the left leg until the right leg is on the ground. And we do our little pelvic shuffle back to being balanced. And then we lift the right leg up once again and do our crossover, right foot over, touching the ground. Then we slowly straighten the leg, descend the right pelvic crest, and then we glide the right foot all the way around. And then the pelvis naturally comes around, lowers to the ground, and the right foot and the right leg comes over. Back on the ground, we lift the right leg back up to the sky reach. Go across the body, right foot on the ground. Notice if it's getting easier for you to be in this position, slowly sliding the right leg in that lower windmill all the way down, going over our left leg, and our right side of our pelvis comes back down to the ground. And then we balance with just moving our pelvis around to the meta wiggle. Lift the right leg up for the sky reach, going across the body until the right foot touches the ground. And then we windmill for our last one, lengthening our leg, descending our right pelvic crest, feeling the stretch all along the sideline. And then we wind back up on our back. And then we go into our lower diamond, feet together. And then we go into the upper diamond with our index fingers barely touching. Let's do a big inhale in, big exhale out. Inhale in, exhale out. Good. Now let's bring the right leg up into the meta restore position. Now let's stack the right foot on top of the inner left knee. Keep the index fingers connected, upper diamond still active. Now bring the inside right ankle on the ground above the left knee to feel a deeper twist in the hip and the lumbar spine. So the right heel is in front of the left knee like a foot, 1 foot length. And feel the twist. Notice where you feel crunchy, tight, compressed. Breathe into that space. Let it go with the muscle melting. Now bring your hands together in prayer hands with the elbows bent. Index finger on the ground as well as the thumb. Elbow tips pointing up towards the sky. Deepening the right hip stretch as we pull the elbows towards each other. Hands, palms connected. Slowly open back into the upper diamond, elbows on the ground. Sliding the right foot back to the inner left knee. Placing the right foot back into the meta restore position. And the right foot opens up into the lower diamond, feet together. Place the left foot into the meta restore position. Lift the left foot up, place it on the inner right knee. Now place the left foot on the ground, a foot in front of the left knee on the inner arch, and allow the body to be in a rotation. Letting the body melt. Letting the body unwind and lengthen. Slowly begin to bring the palms together. The elbow tips lift up towards the sky. Gently pull the elbows towards each other. Inhaling up, exhaling out. And slowly lowering the elbows back down to the upper diamond, index fingers gently connected. Deepening into the twist. Slowly lift the left foot back up to the right knee. Notice how the body shifts just a little bit. The body shifts help bring everything back to balance. Now bring the left foot to the meta restore position. Now slowly lower the left leg back into the lower diamond. Now slide the legs out into a straight leg. Now slowly slide the legs back into the lower diamond. Connect the heels first. Then as you slide the heels towards the pelvis, the feet connect. Go as far as it feels good in your body to go. Rest there. Allow the knees to open. Keep the index fingertips gently touching. Now slide the lower diamond feet away from the pelvis until the heels are the only parts of the foot touching, and then you lengthen all the way out to a lengthened leg. Dorsiflex at the end to lengthen through the heel. Now again, begin to bring the knees out. Pull the heels towards each other. Now as the heels slide up towards the pelvis, then the feet, the full tripod connects. Pull the full tripod up to the pelvis and the knees go out to the side. Go up as high as you can go. You're going to feel a little lumbar compression. That is okay. Let the knees relax. The feet are connected. And then begin to slowly slide the feet away from the pelvis. Notice how the bipod foot starts to create space away from each other. And then it's just the heels. And then we slowly lengthen the heels all the way out until it's the line of the hip, straight leg, independent, not touching. Then we lengthen through the heels, pulling the toes up, activating our dorsiflexion. Now go into our 45 up arm. Let's do the same thing with our legs. The knees go out. First, the heels touch. Then as we pull the heels up towards the pelvis, the full foot connects. We pull the full foot up towards the pelvis as far as it feels good. Then we pause there at the end range. We allow the knees to relax out to the side. The adductors rest. You can feel the lumbar compression slightly. See if you can melt into it. Release that lumbar compression. Release it by melting the tension. You know how to do this. You know how to disengage. You know how to release the tension by just letting go. That's one of our primary or one of our significant tenets that we work on the most is teaching our body how to disengage and melt the tension. So melt it all. Be in this position. Good. Slide the arms to the 45 or to the 90-degree sky palm. Now begin to slide the feet away from the pelvis. The bipod opens up, just the heels touching. And then we slowly lengthen all the way out, sliding to the line of the hip. And now we're going to add the opening, the legs to the A-frame out to the side. A-frame legs, opening up. You might have to lift the feet up just to go a little bit wider. Go as far as you can go and just pause for a moment. If you get a little cramp in the side hip, move out of that position quickly and try to return back into it. Now slide the heels along the ground, back to the line of the hip. Open the knees, the heels connect. Slide the feet up towards the pelvis as far as you can go, and then you pause. You allow the adductors, the inner thighs to lengthen, lowering the knees to the ground, and then the lumbar spine lowers to the ground. Lumbar spine lowers to the ground. Windmill the arms to the 45 down without descending the scapula or the shoulders. Keep the shoulders at the same height. Sky palm here. Now lengthen the feet away from the pelvis, just like we've been doing. Just the heels connect at the very end. Try to keep the legs sliding along the outside ankle as long as they can go. And then slowly at the very end, you internally rotate the legs. Dorsiflex, pulling the toes up. Then you widen the feet into the A-frame leg. Then you slide all the way back to the line of the hip. Roll our palms over into our earth palm. And now slide the hands. Keeping the elbows out, slide the hands until the fingertips go underneath the pelvis. So lift up the left pelvis or glute and put your left fingertips underneath and the fingertips underneath the right glute. Now we're in the lower diamond, arms. Now relax the shoulders, relax the elbow. Feel what it's like for your hands to be in this position. Being anchored down by your body. Not a lot, just the fingertips underneath the glutes, not the full hand. Find some comfort here. Try to relax the shoulder, relax the elbow, relax the hand, relax the wrist. Now let's go back into our leg movement. Open up the legs to external rotation. Pull the heels together, knees go out wide. Into the tripod foot, pulling all the way up, elbow or the knees widen. Soften the lumbar spine. And the knees open and lengthen out to the side. Lower diamond feet and legs, lower diamond hands. Do your hands and arms feel comfortable here? Now slowly slide the legs all the way back out to the line of the hip, line of the leg, dorsiflex at the ankle, slide to the A-frame, and then pause there, and then allow the adductors to stretch without the activation of the hip. Even though the hip activation helped get us there, just relax the hips. Slide the legs all the way back to the line of the hip. Now tuck the hands up underneath the glutes even more to make more of the hand be under the glutes. That makes it just a little bit more challenging in your shoulder and your elbow. We're in our earth palm. The elbows are out to the side. Try to relax the shoulders. Let's take a moment to work with our glenohumeral joint, our shoulder. Let's pull the shoulder back towards the ground, even though it feels like it's thrusting forward. Just pull the shoulders back. Internally rotate the legs, dorsiflex the ankles. Pull the shoulders back and hold for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let the shoulders return back to their neutral, whatever position that they like to be in at this moment. Now pull the shoulders back. Notice how we use the elbow ground expansion to help leverage the shoulder pull. Pull the shoulder back, but feel the elbow pressing into the ground. That creates some traction in the wrist. Can you feel that? And then slowly relax the shoulder. Now let's slowly externally rotate the legs, pull the heels together, the full foot, the knees come out, slide the legs up towards the pelvis. Now pull the shoulders back towards the ground. Pull the shoulders back towards the ground. Now inhale all the way up, filling up the pelvis, the intra-abdominal area, and then the ribs. Then hold at the very top. Hold. And exhale. Inhale, exhale, and hold. Exhale. And hold. And inhale. Nicely done. Now begin to lengthen the legs all the way back out to the line of the hip, internally rotating the legs, dorsiflexing, sliding the legs out to the A-frame. Relaxing the lumbar spine, relaxing the hips. Try not to engage those outer hip muscles. Let those relax. Then slide the legs back to the line of the hip. Now bring the hands underneath the pelvis more until the fingertips, the index fingertips are touching under the sacrum. Maybe it doesn't feel comfortable for you. Find which stage is best for you. Or Maybe it was the first one. Maybe you need a break. If this one feels okay, we'll do it from here. Pull the shoulders back towards the ground, feeling the opening of the humerus along the glenoid fossa of the scapula and the clavicle bone. Now we're going to add something here. Pull the elbows into the ground. Pull the shoulders into the ground. Lift the chin up towards the sky for an upper 6 o'clock. Now lift the thoracic spine up off of the ground. Lift the thoracic spine up off of the ground while pulling the elbows into the ground. The shoulders are back. The thoracic spine is lifted. Feel the thoracic spine lifted. Elbows in the ground for ground expansion and counterbalance. Lower the thoracic spine. Scoop the chin back down. Relax the shoulders. Big movement thrown in there. It's like a pinch of cayenne in the recipe. Externally rotate the legs, pull the heels up, pulling the legs all the way up to the lower diamond. Try to connect the index fingertips, pull the shoulders back. Let's take a deep inhale, pause, and an exhale, pause, and go back to your regular breath. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. And back to your breath. Now pull the elbows into the ground. Lift the chin up for the upper 6 o'clock. Pull the elbows, pull the shoulders back, lift the thoracic spine. Breathe up and out. Slowly lower the thoracic spine, scoop the chin back to the 0 line, slide the legs all the way back out to the line of the hip, dorsiflex, slide the legs out to the A-frame, relax the side hip muscle. Pull the shoulders back, the elbows into the ground. Pulling open for that clavicle expansion, opening up the core, supporting the pelvis, getting the feet aligned and the femur more deep. Sliding the legs back into the line of the hip, bringing our arms all the way back out to our 90-degree sky palm, back into the 45 up line. Lift the right arm up to the sky reach, scoop the chin, lift the head, reach the right arm up, bring the right arm across the body over to the left hand for the prayer hands, noticing if this last one feels better than the beginning. Inhale deeply into the ribs. 2 big breaths into the ribs. Right arm up, right shoulder blade down, right hand goes back to the 45 down, left arm comes up. Reach up, scoop, lift the head, left arm reaches over to the right hand. 2 deep breaths into the ribs. Relaxing the pelvis. Lifting all the way back up. Back to the 45 ups. Bring the legs back into our 40, into our meta restore position. Sliding to our 45 down. Let's do some vertical rhythms to end our 6 body code mobilize and stretch class. Just a few vertical rhythms back and forth. Very good.